Hi guys, this is Vineet, and in this video we will learn about how you can connect to a database within a SQL Server. So let's quickly move on to my notes. So you can connect to a database via the SQL Server Management Studio, which we are opening right now. So I've clicked on it, waiting for it to open. So SQL Server is opening up with a background. So basically, what we will do, we will connect to Northwind database once the SQL Server Management Studio opens. You can watch one of my other videos to see how you can install or add the Northwind database to a SQL Server. And in this video, we will just connect to this database using the SQL Server Management Studio GUI. And basically, the command to use is use Northwind to connect to a database. So let's see. SQL Server has opened. So when it opens up, it asks you to connect to a SQL Server. In my machine, I'm running 2 instances of SQL Server. So I'm connecting to the localhost instance. And that is the default server SQL Server installation. And I'm now connected to the database, not the database, I'm connected to the server. So I'm expanding the databases section. So I have Northwind over here. So one way to connect is I can select the Northwind database here and type in the new query. So when a new query opens up, waiting for new query to open. So when a new query opens up, it automatically selects Northwind database. Let's close this query window, and if I select a server instead of that particular database and I click on new query, so let's see what database does it select. So by default it connects to a master database instead of the Northwind database. So in order to specifically use that database, you need to type the use command with the name of the database. So we are connecting to Northwind and we need to type semicolon after that. So you can type go command after that, and let's execute the above batch. So we see that we got the successful message. So this is the way you can connect to a database. So after this command is executed, you see the database change here from master to Northwind. Let's move back to notes. So we got this message, successfully connected. So the above message indicates the successful connection. And after we successfully connect to the Northwind database, we can execute any of our queries against that database. And once we are connected to the database, then we do not need to specify a DB name. And what does that mean basically? So let me show you. So in case we are not connected to a database, or in case we are connected to a separate database, so let's open up a new query. In this case it's connected to a master database. So if I want to use any of the tables from the Northwind database, so let's expand the table section. As I'm not connected to Northwind database in this query window, we are connected to a master database. If I want to get any rows from any of the tables in the Northwind database, I need to specify the complete name of the database. So for example, I'm selecting select top 100 rows from customers table in the Northwind database. Then I need to specify the Northwind database. Then I need to specify the schema, which is DBO, and then I need to specify the table name, so which is customers. And I can execute the query to get the data for first 100 customers. But in case we don't want to give this long notation for the database, what we can do is we can simply type the use Northwind database command. So if I use this command, that will switch the database from master to Northwind. So as you see in that, it's not changed to Northwind. Now what I can do, I can simply use the select command, select top 100 star from. Here I can just specify customers. I don't need to specify anything else. I don't need to specify any database. So a relative name can work here. So database has given. So this table has only 91 rows. So that's why it has not given us 100 rows. Let's go back to the notes. So when we first launched the SQL Server Management Studio, and we can got connected to a default DB, that is your administrator has associated with your login. So my login is associated by default to the master database right now. So if I open any query, it automatically connects to master database. So that is our default database for which my login is configured. So let me connect to a database. So here I'm using the login name of Vineet under the computer name, this which is this. So let me see if I can get information like what my username is connected to. So I need to move to security and I can check the logins. So here I have this login. So let's see the properties of this login. So if I expand this section, I can check the left hand side sections. So there's a user mapping, so that indicates the by default mapping. So this user is by default mapped to Northwind database and it's the owner of the database. Okay, so by default this user is mapped to this database, not to the master database, and it has public rights on that database, and it is the DB owner of that database. But this screen does not indicate anything about like what is the default database that comes when we just connect to the server. So let's check the server properties as well to see if we can find that information, why it automatically connects to the master database as default. Let's see if we can find any information over here. So nothing as specific given here. Okay, we will come to that later. Okay, there is a section on permissions, but that is something different. Let's cancel this out and we will come to this later. So basic thing is when we are selecting server in the left hand side pane and launching a new query, the new query window is automatically connecting to master database, and in order to use a specific database and change this, we can either change it here to Northwind, or what we can do, we can execute the use Northwind database command like this, and we can execute the statement so that the current database context changes to Northwind. And if you look at the bottom of the window, it is now connected to Northwind. So we are sure that this query window is connected to the Northwind database, and we can now surely execute any of the queries against the Northwind database, and we are sure that database selected is Northwind. You can check it here. Alright, let's go back to the notes. So by default, when you open up a new query window, the new query window connects to a master database instead of the database you want to use. So basically, you should not store anything or any of your data in the master database. That master database serves a specific purpose. We'll discuss about that later. It's not for storing any of the user data, and we prefer you to use this information or the statement given above, use Northwind to connect to a specific database, so that no object should accidentally get created in the master database. Alright guys, I'm done with this video. If you really like this video, just hit on the like button and subscribe to my channel. Also, there is a Razorpay link in the description of this video. So if you want to make any of the donations or contributions to this channel, or if you are really liking this channel, please contribute a nominal amount of INR 100 rupees, and the payment can be made via the link given in the description section. So I thank you once again for your time. You have a wonderful day ahead.